details tonight about a former St. Louis City building inspector under investigation for his connections to companies collecting your tax dollars. Chief investigative reporter Lauren Traeger has learned those connections are also tied to another pot of city money. Lauren has uncovered the link that could date back years.
We have been telling you about a program in which the city is going onto private property and making repairs to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. They've been doing the same thing to properties owned by the public through St. Louis's land bank. And now we've learned that program is also under question.
What was going on? Were they totally asleep at the wheel? It just makes you pause and go, I'm sure there's more to come.
Jeffrey Boyd is a former St. Louis alderman released this year from federal prison after pleading guilty in a corruption case.
But at the end of the day, I learned a lot from that experience, and it's just making me a better Jeffrey.
But now home, he says he's being targeted. The city informing him they'd be hiring a company to make $87,000 worth of repairs to a building he owns on Martin Luther King Drive. Things, he says, that made no sense.
If we look at the document, that I need to replace rotten or broken floor joists. It's a concrete floor. It's a concrete floor. The man never went in the building.
Last week, First Alert 4 Investigates first told you about 3 companies with ties to St. Louis City Inspector Adebanjo Papula. Those companies have been paid millions of dollars for a program using federal pandemic funds for work they reportedly did on privately owned property. Work the owners tell us they seriously question. Papula, who oversaw the program and inspected the work, resigned Friday, and the city says they are investigating. They told us Friday the program had been put on pause in October to assess operating procedures and scope of work.
Why? Why did you pause the program? Did you pause the program because you finally exposed that this building inspector wasn't doing what he's supposed to do, but yet he still have that position?
But now First Alert 4 Investigates has learned those very same companies have also done work on publicly owned buildings. It's through a voter-passed measure called Prop NS, which seeks to stabilize buildings owned by the LRA, the Land Revitalization Authority. We did an extensive search on those buildings. The city paying Papula-tied companies, Premier Finish Contractors, Forst Construction, and Maxify Contractors hundreds of thousands for the repairs, with the work dating as far back as 2021. In some cases, the buildings have been sold for a fraction of the repair price.
To hear that he's also the inspector for Prop NS and all the other special programs, it's like, who in their right mind would put one person in charge of so much with no checks and balances?
Boyd was the primary sponsor of Prop NS. He says the program itself is good for redevelopment, but much more, he says, needs to be revealed, including why no one caught the connections sooner. Does someone need to be accountable to this program?
Absolutely, but it's bigger than Banjo, I promise you. It's bigger than him. This one person could not pull all of this off without somebody else on the inside knowing what's going on. I promise you that.
Adebanjo Papula has declined our request to speak with him. The city, too, has said they cannot comment due to their ongoing internal investigation, but did say today they are working to answer the question as to why the company connections were not found sooner. Again, that private property repair program is on pause, but despite the connections, Prop NS, a city spokesperson says, is not on pause. So many more questions remain, and of course, you can count on us to keep digging. I'm Lauren Traeger, First Alert 4 Investigates.